Hi, it's Jill from Jilly Bean Studio. Welcome to the channel where I share junk journaling and art journaling projects and ideas. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to do the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, chat a little bit about my creative process as I make a new junk journal. So I hope you'll come along today. I also hope that you'll comment. I would love to know about your junk journaling, your creative process. Last time in the very last video, I talked about the ways that piles and collecting before I make a junk journal really inspire me. I will link that video in the description box. But I've also learned to be really flexible with my journaling. I don't journal every single day. And I also sometimes get into a project and it ends up turning out to be different than I thought. And that is exactly what happened with this particular journal. So yes, friends, we are going to bind a journal today, but not exactly in the way that I thought. As I thought about this journal and what I'm doing currently, working in a couple other art journals and just my creative time, I really started to feel that a 3-signature journal was too big. And I would love to know if this has ever happened to you, if you've taken a different turn in a project or even abandoned a project. I decided that these papers would make a great journal, but I decided to do it in a new way. What you're going to see here is I took out one signature from the journal, and for whatever reason, it just seemed to me to be a better plan. I'm going to go through and show you the 3-hole pamphlet stitch and chat about why I thought making this little smaller version of a journal was a good idea for me at this point in time. And again, show you how to do this very simple binding technique. So to start out, I have done a lot of journaling and I am very comfortable eyeballing the 3 holes and estimating where they go. But for a 3-hole pamphlet stitch, you do want to have 3 holes that you poke with an awl, this little pokey tool, and you want them pretty evenly spaced. So for me, I am used to that and I didn't do any measuring today, but typically, if you have it about 1/2 inch down on your spine and then go through the measurements and centering your center hole, you'll be absolutely fine. Today, this doesn't even matter that much because I think I will be covering the binding with something else and probably fabric or some fun tape or something else, some painted papers. But here we are with the creative turn that I took, and I wanted to talk about that, how the creative freedom, there's no rules to journaling, but sometimes we do have that moment. I had everything set up ready to go, and it was really my gut that told me this journal isn't the journal that I want to work in. It's just simply, I love all the papers, but it's just simply too big for all the other things that I have going on right now. And the moment I took out this one signature, I knew that was the right decision. So I think I'm going to have fun playing with different size papers, making this really scrappy, probably making it more junky than I anticipated when I had the whole 3-signature journal set up. So again, I would love to hear your creative process and the things that maybe you have changed throughout a project, what you thought you might come up with and what you ended up with. I think that's just really an interesting part of what we do as artistic people and journalers. All right, so back to the 3-hole pamphlet stitch. This next step is taking a piece of waxed linen thread about 2.5 lengths of the spine. Again, I've done this a lot, so I'm not overly measuring, but 2.5 lengths of your spine will be a safe amount for you to make your stitches. And I started in the center hole, and now I'm going up to the top hole. If you start from the inside of your journal, your knot will end up in the inside. And if you start from the outside of your journal, your knot will end up on the outside. All right, and I have this little tail on the left, and I'm through the top hole now, and I'm going to skip that middle hole, not going there yet, and I am going to go all the way down the length of the string for this part of the spine to that bottom hole, and then from the outside thread back to the middle hole. Let's adjust that string a little bit, and then I make sure both of the tails are on either side of the long string, and I'm going to give it a really good tug. You want to make sure that your binding is tight. And that is it. It is a very simple binding stitch. Give it a good tug again, make sure it is tightly bound, and then I like to double knot it. I'm also thinking, because I have a small envelope on the front and kind of these flap out pages, that it would be fun to play with a different sort of closure, maybe almost a belly band that would wrap around this. I don't know. I do know I am excited for a new June junk journal and for this cute little smaller project that I didn't anticipate, but now I'm really happy that I bound into a cute little journal. And I'm going to cover the spine with something. Those are some choices on the left. I'm not sure yet. And I'm definitely going to be playing with the edges of the pages. I know Cat Hand in her excuse me, mixed media morsels is doing a fun year of borders and edges. And I may be inspired to do some of those as well. Yeah, really liking this change in plan. And I think we have to, as creative people, give ourselves permission. Again, there's no rules, but yet sometimes we feel committed to a journal, and we have the prerogative to change our mind and go with a different version of a project, or go to a different project entirely. So this is definitely, it's feeling good, and it's feeling like this is the way I want to June junk journal. So thanks for coming along today, and I hope the 3-hole pamphlet stitch, if you're not familiar with that binding, is something that you found useful. And I look forward to sharing much more in this smaller new June junk journal with you. And please share with me in the comments what you are doing in your journaling as well. Thanks so much for stopping by the channel, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.